Okay, so
Okay, cool.
yeah, you ask about the PGRs, you ask about them being heat stable and all that kind of stuff. Most of your synthetic PGRs are pretty well heat stable. They're made to be autoclaved and things like that, or at least co-autoclaved, which means they degrade a little bit, but not a whole lot, right? You can autoclave them by themselves, and then you can also do it again once you add your media, and that really doesn't degrade too much. However, not all of your PGRs are that way. IBA and BA are pretty well stable. They're going to be synthetics for the most part. When it comes to doing like gibberellic acid and things like that, no, definitely not. You cannot do that. Even NA generally is not. NA and IAA, you pretty well want to filter them, is what it is. Okay, well, I'll walk you through a process real quick before we get started. But one easy and cheap way of doing it is you're going to make very small batches anyway. If you're doing your own TC work, you're probably only mixing up maybe 25 to 50 milliliters of it at a time, and that's going to last you probably 6 months to a year of doing a lot of work. I mean, you're generally only using about 1 to 2 milliliters at a time of any of these PGRs per liter of material. A liter makes quite a bit. If you're doing it in jars, you can fill up probably 2 dozen jars, 2 or 3 dozen jars with a liter. If you're doing test tubes, man, you can do a 500 count. So anyhow, if you're doing it on a small scale like that, you can use a syringe filter. Syringe filters work great. All it is, you just screw this right onto the tip of your syringe and then push it through to your media. That way you get a single filtration through that as well, one way. But yeah, I use a 0.22 micron filters for those, and they work fine. Now, I don't use these hardly at all anymore. I was using these a long time ago when I used to do mycology work quite a bit. Nowadays, I don't so much use that. I'm doing a large scale batches. And if I'm going to store something, say a quart size or so, I've made my own autoclavable lids. And these work fantastic. All you do is get some RTV silicone, and you want to make sure it's the RTV silicone because it's heat tempered up to like 800 degrees. So it's engine sealant is what it is. Just go. You can get it at almost any big box store over in the automotive department. A little tube for about $5 or $6, and it's red or blue. The red is a little bit more heat tolerant than the blue is, but they both work. This is a self-healing injection port. You can get them on Amazon for a little bit of nothing. And this is a syringe filter that is also basically glued into the lid. This goes right onto any standard wide mouth jar. So that works perfectly for that. If you're doing something a liter or more and you want to store a lot of this stuff, you're going to want to do it in a Buckner filter. Okay, and basically you'll buy the micron filter to put inside. Here's just a little filter disc, a little kind of like a coffee filter is what it is, but it's a micron filter. It'll go inside here. You'll put on a little vacuum. It looks just like what goes to your fish aquarium, but it sucks instead of pushes, right? You'll put that right onto here. It'll pull the liquid through the filter and into your container, and then you can decant it from there. That is filter sterilization 101.